To you Geminis, how you Geminis are doing. You have the 8 of Michael, the King of Gabriel, and then you Geminis also have the 5 of Raphael. So these 3 cards right here for y'all represent how you are in a position where for you, Geminis, you also more are in a sense of that's wild. Okay. So the 8 of Michael, the King of Gabriel, the 5 of Cups, and the Lovers. I gotta put this in there. Is like basically you have someone basically begging to get back in good with you, Geminis. And you Geminis are just unfeeling. You're not moved by their attempts to get you Geminis to actually come back to them. How I know that is because the 8 of Michael, the King of Gabriel, the 8 of Michael, you moving forward, King of Gabriel, not necessarily really caring, 5 of Raphael, their regret, the Lovers, right? And Lovers is Gemini. So you did show up in your own reading. Your power showed up in this reading, your own reading right now, right? So this is their desperate attempt to get you Geminis back in a relationship with them again, because again they don't want to admit that they want you around, right? It's that weird thing where it's like, people go in and trash talk you and stuff like this, and then it's like, but then when you walk away and you go, fine, I'll just leave. Oh, no, I don't do that. See, that's the reason why it is XYZ or whatever. And it's like this is starting to get to a point where this is insane. Like and that's what's happening, right? The person, they don't know whether or not they're coming or going because they have their own personal issues that they don't want to accept. And so the situation with them is the 4 of Raphael. So the 4 of Raphael right here is about how you Geminis are in a space where they don't want to accept the fact that this connection that you Geminis have had to them is over. Like, even if you Geminis still may like them, right? You're still not going to go back together with them because what do I say a million times, right? A million times. What do I say, right? Just because 2 people like each other does not necessarily, excuse me, just because 2 people like each other does not necessarily mean that they will be in a relationship with each other. Why? Because of circumstances, and let me explore that on that. Let me cook because 2 people may like each other and have an affinity for each other, right? But they may not be fit for one another because of different circumstances in life. We see how people may like each other but don't hang out with each other or get to know each other all the time on social media. Like, how many times do people go in and talk about finances? Talk about how it is that if they're not making this amount, then there's no way that those 2 people can actually make things work, right? Things like that. And the situation is like stuff like that. You feel me? Like stuff like that, right? Like how many times have we seen, like, I don't know, like how many times have we seen, you know, a person kind of string another person along for a ride because they don't actually really like each other. I mean, excuse me, string the other person along for the ride because the person doesn't like the other person long term. They just want to use that person for their body. They think that person looks good, but they don't want to have that person as a long-term significant other, right? Like, how many times have we actually seen stuff like this? And so the 2 of Michael, the High Priestess, and the Page of Ariel right here for you, again, this just represents how you Geminis are in a spot where, again, you don't want to have anything to do with them, but they don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept actually what that means. They don't. What they're on right now is the 5 of Raphael, the Lovers. They're in denial about this connection that you Geminis have or don't have about them, right? Like, you Geminis may like them still, right? But at the same time, It don't mean that you will get together with them, right? Like a person, like I can't talk super bad about the ladies who I've been rocking with. Why? Because I was with them, or I may have liked them. So I can't talk too bad about them, because it's like, yeah, but at one point I was rocking with them. You feel what I'm saying? In that sense. So you know, I can critique, but I can't get to a point where I'm like, yo, XYZ, da, 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 blah, 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 and just keep going in and just being disrespectful. I can't do that, because again, there was a point in time where I was rocking with them. So I would look funny style, because it's like, but you rock with them, right? Like other people would be like, you rock with them though. There was a point in time where you was kicking it with them and you were good, and this is what it is that you wanted. We know this. We could pull up the track and show you where the verbs are. Like, we know this, right? And so the situation with that is the two of Michael, the high priestess, and the page of Ariel is about how, so if this person still has a form of access to you, I want to let you Geminis know that if you haven't already experienced this, you will. That they're going to give you a little bit of a hard time, a little bit. They're going to kind of give you a difficult time, because they're going to text message. Like, don't be surprised if you get like a text message or like a phone call of a person, right? The person that you used to rock with, talking about, why is it that you stopped hanging out? Why is it that this, that, and the third? What's going on with you? Why is it that you moving like this in the first place? Don't be surprised about that, because they're in denial. They know why it is that you and them stop rocking with each other, but the problem is, even though the two of you stop rocking with each other, or you stop rocking with them more specifically, they don't want to accept that more than likely they were the problem. They don't want to accept that they were the problem, and that you Geminis, the only thing was you Geminis probably just put up with them a little bit too long. But again, we can't, hindsight is 2020. Like, you got out in time. We don't know everything. And so the page of Ariel represents, that's the thing. That's another thing that's really getting them too. It's the fact that the part of the problem is they're having real issues with you Geminis, like even picturing or imagining you Geminis going and hanging out with another person. But the solutions, which is Sagittarius, your opposite zodiac sign, and the Ace of Michael represents, they wouldn't have this problem if the two of y'all got along and if y'all wanted the same long-term goals in a relationship. Though the two of y'all would not have this problem. You wouldn't have this problem. You would not be having this type of problem. You wouldn't. And the reason why is because I know that for a fact, because that's how it is that you know that yourself and a person should be in a relationship, is that if the two of y'all have the same long-term goals, and if the two of y'all have things in common. That's actually one of the easiest ways to find out if you and a person should probably go together. It's having things in common and wanting the same things long term. That is amongst the easiest way to find out if the two of y'all should get together. If y'all are having things in common, and if y'all want things long term, the same things, good. There's people who I met who we just go together like peanut butter and jelly. If I'm being honest, we just go together like peanut butter and jelly. We do. What do you like? Gangstar. What kind of rap groups do you like? Do you like rap? Yeah. Who do you like? Gangstar, Big L, Nas, Biggie, I haven't heard enough from Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Tupac wasn't really my style. The whole thug stuff. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Biggie, yeah, because Biggie was more like a smooth operator kind of thing. That's more so my style. I listen to people whom I obviously, we all listen to people whom we relate to. So I can't relate to that thug stuff. I ain't even gonna, I can't because I'm not one. You know, without getting into too much detail, people say that Pac didn't get put on. Yes, he did, right? Pac got put on to West Side Pyru. Excuse me, not West Side Pyru, Mob Pyru. Excuse me, right? From Compton, right? He took the fade and he got put on, right? Something that they call real right. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that then when I find out that I have other things in common with the person, Pac is a Gemini too. On top of that, that's wild. I was like, okay, let's see. You and this person. The point that I'm trying to make here is you and this person don't have much in common. Specifically, the long-term goals. And so the Sagittarius, right? So the Sagittarius, the solutions, aka temperance, is about how you Geminis, you have a lot going on, and they see that you have a lot going on. They see that you could get to know other people like that. Y'all are social butterflies, right? Y'all, I've said this before, that the air signs and Virgo and Pisces know more people than the average person. And I've talked about this, most people will only know about I'm saying only like it's a it's a little thing, but most people will only know roughly 6,000 people throughout their entire lifetime. And when I say, Darren, when I say no, I'm talking about personally, will only know roughly around 6,000. Think about it. 6,000 people throughout their entire lifetime. 6,000 is not a lot if you think about it. If you think about the course of your entire lifetime, your doctor, your dentist, your friends, the friends that you've made over the years, your teachers, your classmates. Think about it, right? Think about it. Your acquaintances. All of that stuff, you be thinking to yourself, well, 6,000, that's a lot. No, all of that stuff adds up. Air signs, Virgo and Pisces know more than 6,000 people, usually on average. It's just how we are. And so why I'm saying that is because they know that you can pull another person. You can always find someone brand new, right? As long as there's a lane open, of course. So let's clarify the Ace of Michael. Matter of fact, let's clarify the solution. What is the solution? That's wild. What is the solution? That's way too many cards, too. What is the solutions? Four of Pentacles, King of Wands, Hermit, Eight of Pentacles, and then you have the Scorpio energy, right? Scorpion energy. Four of Pentacles, King of Wands, Hermit. Yet again, you're sticking to your decision to not really have them, to not have them. The Eight of Pentacles, the Scorpio energy. Here they are, right? Knight of Wands, trying to get back in a relationship with you. Eight of Pentacles, Scorpio energy. You're not having it. Not saying that you want to be single, but you don't want to be in a relationship with them. And that's the thing that they don't understand. So again, they're going to be groveling up behind you, begging. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel 200K. I'm at 23,250 subs. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. Peace.